conversation.
Yeah.
And that it's true. And, you know, Freddie actually, that night with them, I didn't know who Freddie Mercury was.
Right.
I didn't give a flying fuck about Queen.
Right.
I was into Soft Cell
Right.
and Mark Almond and
Right.
all those Queens.
Yeah.
You know, Queen was a different generation.
Right.
Queen was what my mum and dad played.
Was that 10 years before, right?
Yeah, my mum and dad played Queen on a Sunday morning. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
But, you know, and I'd met him at Heaven on a Saturday night, the first time I ever went to Men Only on Heaven on Saturday night.
Is that what the night was called?
Well, it was only Men
It was
Only.
just Men Only, yeah.
And you couldn't know when we were ever allowed in.
Yeah.
And that's where I first met that lot, and then went back to their house, and there was like 8 people.
Right.
So it wasn't just Freddie that gave me
Right.
a go.
Okay.
But although he did. But you know.
Is that story about Freddie Mercury and taking Princess Diana to the
Vauxhall Tavern.
RVT? Is that true?
That is true, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Diana in the Vauxhall Tavern.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, exactly right.
You then started hitting New York. I think you went on your 18th birthday.
Yeah, I flew to New York on. I badgered George, as in Boy George, into buying me a flight on Concorde.
What was Concorde like?
Oh, Concorde was amazing.
Was it?
Yeah.
Concorde, like two seats next to each other. It wasn't spacious, was it?
Two seats. It was so small.
Yeah.
Inside, grey leather.
Right.
Yeah.
So you got to New York.
So we got to New York, was in New York for a while. And then, but by that point, when I was 18, I was doing a night called Café de Paris in London on a Wednesday night, which was the place it was.
Yeah.
Everything
Recently
that we
closed.
Yeah, but on a Wednesday back then, it was the hardest place to get into. It was the only place anyone ever wanted to go in London.
What was that night called?
Wednesday night at Café de Paris.
I love that name.
Well, no, it was like Nick Knight, a guy called Nick Fry ran it,
Yeah.
and Albert from the Bataclan in Paris.
Okay.
He would fly over on a Wednesday, and they had this guy called Jack on the door from Paris as well. And Albert would play all like swing and salsa, and like La Vie en Rose was one of his big ones. And then I would come on and start playing early house and disco and stuff.
What sort of year was this?
So Delight had just come out, work it out.
So like very early 90s.
Yeah,
like
very,
90
very early.
or something. I want to say, yeah.
I was 18.
Right.
So then, of course, when I was going over to New York, and I was hanging, you know, George lived on Columbus in 88. And I decided I was moving to New York at that point.
Yeah.
Only went for a week and then suddenly was like there.
Yeah.
And then I would come back and forth. And of course, you know, London, everyone in New York wanted to be in London.
Yeah.
And everyone in London really wanted to be in New York.
Yeah, I feel like it's still the same now, isn't it?
Yeah, and you know, but New York back then in that time was just incredible because it was pre-Giuliani. It was pre the big clear out.
Yeah.
You know, you still had the hookers in the meatpacking district.
Yeah.
You still had the bathhouses.
Yeah.
You still had that freedom of like, wow, this is what the village people were all about.
Totally.
Do you get what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
You know,
and you've still got like Warhol still alive.
Oh,
at this
yeah, of
point,
course.
you know.
I mean, I'd see Andy like most nights.
Really?
We're out. Yeah, literally.
Oh, tell me you
He
got
was the most
Polaroid
annoying cunt
from-
under the
He did
sun.
Polaroid of you?
Yeah.
Why was he annoying?
He was just always there. I've got two, like literally like creeping after George. But I got 2 Polaroids that he did.
Yeah.
Of me. One with me was Sade, and one with me with George.
And he was just annoying. That's so
Oh,
funny.
he was just. Hey. I just found him really creepy.
And Herring as well. You're knocking about.
Yeah, I
Keith
know. I
Haring,
loved Keith.
Yeah.
Keith was everything that we loved. What we loved.
Totally.
When you meet, you know, it was like you'd be talking and be like, oh, "Who's that black guy over there?"
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
he loved Latinos and he loved black boys.
Okay.
But you know, he was just everything about Keith was just. He had freedom and he had fun. He knew how to have fun, and he was just he was a real laugh.
Yeah.